Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Because you know there's like 15,000 people in this room. Thank you for coming. The rain has stopped some people, but I appreciate the people that have made the effort. Welcome to Platfxrm. This is crazy because this is the first time coming back since 2019. 2019 was our last kind of live performance, and we had some amazing artists that are really blown up, especially like Lord Apex and a few people like Quentin Durand-ZA that's worked with The Weeknd and Doja Cat. But yes, today we have a panel discussion hosted by the Capsule, and we also have film screenings later on after this, which I'm a fan of a lot of these artists, and I know some of them are coming in later. And then around the corner, we have a art installation called Memorabilia by Henry KJ Paris, who's in the room today. Special work. If you read the description, it's really touching, and if you take some time to be in this space, it really reminds me of home. I grew up in Brixton, so it's really lovely to come back here. But we're going to kick this off because we're also recording this today, so this is kind of like a recorded moment, but we definitely want like a beautiful audience to experience it. So thank you for coming, and what we're going to do now is start the panel discussion, but first we're going to roll the trailer. Blow.
Hello.
How do you do that, bro? That was magically just
Yeah,
like...
you see there's magic that the way I just appeared and no one saw me. That's crazy. Hi everyone. How you doing? I'm Luke. So I host and run the Capsule. We're a kind of media platform which involves a whole bunch of stuff, but the main anchoring point of it is this podcast. We have a weekly podcast if you'd like to check us out on all platforms. We do live panel talks, interviews, all sorts of stuff like that, as well as like filming, videos, recap stuff, a lot of creative work as well. So thanks to Ivan for having me and us here. So basically let's move straight on to the guests, shall we?
Yes, brother.
We have two people who are amazing artists who are going to be here to kind of, in cross-platform spirit, talk about the links between them as dancers, because all four of us are dancers, I think, I would say maybe at our core. And then from there, we've expanded and built other avenues for our creative selves, for ourselves as business people as well. This is kind of the spirit of cross-platform and the I think you would say like the street culture and the technology and the different interdisciplinary work.
Most definitely.
I don't want to introduce too much the guests because they're going to talk about themselves. So if we could have Dreya and Dylan come to the stage. Give them a round of applause. You might want to come around the front.
Hey.
Yeah.
Welcome, guys.
Oh, you good? All right.
You got the layers on today, boy.
Happy? All good?
It's getting cold.
Yeah.
It's starting to get cold.
That time my lips
Hello.
are dry.
Hi, guys.
We do a mic check, you guys.
Yes.
Can you hear them out there? Yes. Lovely. Hi, guys. How you doing?
All good.
Sick.
Great.
You good, Dylan?
Great.
Yeah? Good. So I guess let's get straight into it. I mean, there's so much that I want to ask you guys, but I think the best way to start is for maybe all of us to kind of talk. I've spoken a little bit about what the Capsule is, and maybe we can get more into that, but maybe let's start with Ivan and then go to you guys about kind of what it is that I said, that we all started as dancers and kind of built outwards from there, but maybe what it is, let's pick up from you're already established dancers, you start to transcend and go outside and look into different avenues. maybe like talk a little bit about what does that journey look like for you, Ivan, and then we'll follow on with you guys.
Yeah. So right now I juggle many roles. Artistic director, founder, CEO, artist, mentor. But I think at the core I was always a multidisciplinary artist or cross-disciplinary artist. I kind of grew up in an environment where a lot of different types of cultures were thrown at me. And I interacted with many different types of people, from theater to fashion to music. And I wanted to create a world where all of that can kind of exist in one place, because I was going to venues or going to certain art experiences and I was like, this is not it. Especially of the internet age now, you can scroll and get so much from literally within 2 minutes. So I wanted something that felt like that in real life. And yeah, cross-platform came about, and there is many journeys of how I got to cross-platform, but more importantly, I just wanted to put my people on. I had a lot of dope friends, and I was scratching my head and was like, but you're amazing, you are a star, how come you're not blown up? And I felt like that about myself. I'm like, my shit's dope. How come it's not happening? How come it's not popping? So yeah, it was also building a family, and I think that was the most important thing. And now I definitely feel like, I've got that amazing network of artists and creatives and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a little bit of a spiel of cross-platform, but I can give a bit more when we get down the line.
Yeah, Dylan, do you want to give a little intro to how you got from dancer to entrepreneurial, interdisciplinary artist?
Well, yeah, similar to Ivan, I've just always had so many different interests, and I have quite a problematic, addictive personality where like I will get really passionate about something and I have to be the best in the world at that, and I find something new every year. So I just really, I get really deep into things, and I think, I think I have quite a natural entrepreneurial mind. And yeah, I started to organize dance events when I was 19 and continued to work as a dancer and choreographer and teacher. And I think when the pandemic happened, I discovered crypto and NFTs and did some stuff there. And that really opened my mind, because I think being a professional dancer, it's very easy to stay comfortable in the dance bubble and to just continue to surround yourself with dancers and people who think similar to you in regards to dance. But how many dancers are also surrounding themselves with software engineers, business builders, CEOs, different things, different avenues, different cultures, different industries, that can then complement the dance industry and their ventures within dance. So that really, getting more involved in Web3, which I'm sure we'll talk about later, that really opened my mind up, and it made me realize how important it is to, as an artist, because I don't really see myself as a dancer, I see myself as an artist, how important it is to surround yourself with people of every type of industry.
Definitely. How about you?
Let me just put it closer. I feel like with me, it's the same as Dylan. I feel like I'm someone who's quite multifaceted, and I also really like over-obsess over the craft that I'm in, whatever that may be. And obviously that also ties into like neurodivergency, and I'm only recently started to get screening for that and like realizing so many things. So that explains that. I wanna,
Wait, tell me. Yeah, I was just about to say, but tell me the details.
I wouldn't like self-diagnose myself, but what I'd say is that kind of addictive behavior to something within the art region, and also being able to execute it really well, because like you're really good at dancing and probably really good at all the other stuff. I feel like the obsession over it and like, I don't know, clinging on to it is a part of that neurodivergent kind of, I don't know, that's like a, I don't know if it's a symptom or whatever you call it, but yeah. Anyway, so I feel like I can relate to you on that level. And then also just during the pandemic, like, you know, like us dancers, we were just going through it. Like there was no jobs. Everyone was like applying for benefits and stuff. It was like really, it was a lot. And I was already in that, I don't know, way of living already. So I was just like looking around like, wow, like is our career gonna really be determined by a virus and something? I was really like sitting down like, damn, like what's going on? And because I felt like as someone who was doing more commercial work, dancing behind artists, when there was no job there for the artist, there was no job for me. So I was like, let me just become that, because how hard can it be? And that's the words that I said. I was like, how hard can it be?
So you weren't doing music before the pandemic?
Nah, like I just started that year, and I was like, I just have to do this, because what else is there? Really, like, it's like determination and resilience, I think, is the only thing that got me where I am, because I was just like, I need to do this, and I need to put it out in certain places. And I think having a dance following already really helped me. Because like the dance scene, no matter your opinions on it, are very supportive. Like if they see something's popping, it doesn't even matter if they're supportive on their own or they're supportive because other people are. They just are. So if something's popping, everyone's gonna be on it and sharing it. And I've only just realized in the music scene, they're not as nice. Like they don't really share stuff like that. And like that's quite a dancer thing. So I think that's what helped me transition more or less, and just like, determination. So
kind of on Dylan's point about like surrounding yourself with people that can do other things and that are experts in what they do, so you started music in the pandemic as being a dancer. Did you have to then go like, right, I need someone that knows how to engineer, I need a producer, I need someone that understands like what beats complement what thing? Like, did you kind of surround yourself with those experts, or did you kind of go at it alone first and then build them?
So luckily for me, my sister's already an artist.
Mad.
She helped me a lot in the start of the pandemic, when in the very beginning of my career. I was at her studio, and she's also an engineer, so she just helped me. And literally being around one person, doesn't matter if it's a lot, it's true what he said, like being around someone will help you. And I just got guided, really. I got guided the whole way, you know, to where I am. So I really give all of that props to my sister. Like,
sick.
So yeah.
That's dope. And how about for you guys? So when you first kind of decided to go, like, I mean, Dylan, maybe you want to take it towards the NFT side of things. But like you said, in the pandemic, you started to get into crypto and Web3, and I'm probably going to say the wrong terminology this entire talk. But is this like a YouTube deep dive that ended up in you being obsessed? Or were you like kind of contacting people, building up a team to help you? Like, how do you go about that?
Yeah, so for some context, so that it's going to make a bit more sense, I grew up playing a lot of video games. Like in primary school, I played this game called RuneScape, which is kind of like you're in this virtual world dealing with virtual currencies and, you know, fishing for an hour and then selling those fishes for X amount of virtual coins. And then when I was 15, I played World of Warcraft for a couple years, which is similar, playing around with virtual jobs and virtual currencies. Now, at first glance, you'll see these people playing these games for hours, and you wouldn't think that you wouldn't think that they're learning anything valuable, or that they're doing something impressive or hard. But when I discovered crypto and I discovered NFTs, everything clicked pretty quick for me. And I could understand the concepts of this virtual world and virtual currencies so quick because of my experience in these types of games. I know it sounds crazy. I didn't clock it until many months later.
I mean, in a way, it's kind of like us at the beginning being like, oh, what do you mean there's just an app with people dancing on it? Like, you know what I mean? It's like the same thing. Like, as much as it could sound like, oh, you're playing games and you're learning about something that can make you money, it's kind of the same with any apps. Like, it seems stupid until it makes you loads of money, and then...
I have a question. It's not... I'm getting better at understanding it. What is
go.
NFTs?
Yeah, you're gonna have to break this
What
down.
is NFT?
Can we do
I'm
a
sure
show of
bare people are
hands?
like, huh?
Can we do a show of hands?
Because, you know,
Who doesn't know
there's crypto,
what
there's
crypto
NFTs,
and
smart
NFTs are?
contracts.
Who does not understand
Yeah.
NFT and blockchain technology? Oh, this. Okay. Now.
Okay, oh, there we go. Who thinks they do? Okay.
Hey.
Cool, yeah.
Oh, pressure for pressure. Now I'm gonna have to explain it to people that do. Okay, so I kind of have found. I'm gonna try and make this as short as possible because I could do the long version, but I'll try and make this as short as possible. And I found an interesting way to explain it so that it's artist friendly in a way. So the way I like to explain it. Oh my gosh.
Pressure.
Okay.
You got this, bro.
So, this is how I like to explain it. The blockchain technology is a new technology. It's a way of recording and storing data. Now, in order to understand NFTs, it's important to understand blockchain first. And there's two words that once you understand, it gets a little bit easier, and that's decentralized and immutable. So blockchain technology is a decentralized and immutable system. Stay with me, I got you, yeah? So, decentralized means that nobody owns or controls, nobody has the power to own or control the technology, yeah? Immutable means that once something is stored on the blockchain, once something is up, it can never be removed or edited. And because it's decentralized, because no one owns or controls it, that's possible. Kind of make sense so far? Yeah. Okay. So now,
Oh, who said no? Someone said no.
it's okay. It's okay. It takes a couple times. It takes some time. But for the first time in internet history, we are able to put something on the internet and prove that it is the one. It's an original. For the first time in internet history, that hasn't been possible before, because now we have a system that is decentralized and immutable. Okay? So an analogy that I like to give is a painter could paint something right here, and they can paint it and sign it at the bottom, and I could say, this is the original, right? Now I can photocopy that, and that's just a photocopy, and we have the original, and we could maybe prove that it's original because you've seen me paint it and it's there, right? But now we can do that with digital files.
And it's easier to prove that the original is the original because they are like forged paintings, and
Exactly.
sometimes they get confused and they're like, it's mad hard to see that this is not the real one.
Yes.
But you're saying with digital one, it's almost impossible to fake a real.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
So people say that the Mona Lisa, the one that's in the Louvre, is that how you say it?
Louvre.
The Louvre. People say
Look
that
at that.
that's not the real one. But with NFTs, with blockchain technology, it is the technology doesn't allow for you to forge a digital file that is stored on the blockchain. It's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that made it easier. I could go way deeper, but I think that's the tip of the iceberg.
So I guess like something that and you're going to have to definitely correct me on some of this, but something that made me kind of grasp it a bit more is, do you remember that art installation thing that was basically a banana taped to a wall?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that? Do you guys remember that? There's someone that basically like
guys
taped a
don't know your
banana to a wall and said like, this is a thing. They actually sold that to another gallery, right? For a lot of money. And it's kind of ridiculous because they didn't even send them the original banana and the
Yeah, that's what
tape.
I'm saying. It was a bit
They just
dead out.
said tape up your own banana on the wall.
Yeah.
But what they sent them and what that they paid for was the certificate that said, I, the artist, deem this to be like yours now, kind of thing. And they sent that. So I guess what you're saying with the NFT thing is it allows you to have that certificate of authenticity for something digital. So if I take a picture, unless I print it and sign it, like online, you can't tell which one is mine original and which one is
no, it's just
another.
it's just a digital file that can be copied.
So now you can kind of say, I can sell a picture online, it never has to be printed, and I can charge maybe more for it because I'm saying this is the original. Am I getting that wrong? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
So last year when I discovered NFTs, I saw gaming NFTs, I saw art NFTs, and then I thought, what what happens if I put a dance video on and I sell it? What happens then? Like, what happens then? And I did that, and my first dance NFT didn't have any music on it because I was just experimenting. And at the time, I had never seen another dance NFT. I was very, very early in the NFT space. And it sold a month later to my friend in the Web3 space who's a CEO of an NFT gaming company. He saw, you know, like we were chatting, he saw it, it's like, okay, I'll buy it. Like, it was like £300. Cool. I was like, that's cool. Okay, that's interesting. So then a couple months later, I filmed a couple videos with music. I worked with some producers. I said to the producers, hey, if I film this video and I use your song and I sell it as a dance NFT, you keep X percentage. What do you say? Okay, cool. And then I sold 10 more. And what happens next? Who knows? We'll see. But that's very interesting, guys, because understand that what I have done is equivalent to an artist painting something on a canvas and selling it to someone, but now I've done that with dance videos without any third parties intervening. Like traditionally, via social media, I would need a third party to intervene for me to monetize my content.
Meaning like TikTok or Instagram or something.
Or adverts. Yeah,
Right.
I would need, like, I wouldn't be able to, how can I sell a dance video that I uploaded on Instagram? Who would pay for that? Why would they pay for that? But with blockchain
Because they can
technology,
just download it.
yeah. But yeah, it's pretty mind blowing. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot.
And no, I was gonna say that's what I think is
It's a panel talk,
beautiful
it's what you
for like where Web3 is going, especially for dancers, because that's the thing I think we struggle with is like how do we monetize?
Yeah.
We are usually dancing behind an artist, or we're trying to make a dance show, and we know that in that space there is no money. You're kind of doing it for love, and or you're doing kind of hitting all these dance battles, which we have one tomorrow. You should come. And you only getting about what, £100, £150, £300 here and there. If you win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even in
And
the
you lose 20 if you participate.
Yeah.
And even in the like social media space, it's like I think a lot more people are now making money through TikTok, but I knew a lot of people with a lot of followers on like Insta or whatever who are making no money, and then people who have like 2,000 followers who are like getting
Making bread,
paid.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it kind of, not that it doesn't make sense, but it's not such a formulaic strategy as other avenues might be, let's say.
Yeah, and I think, just thinking about it, like a lot of us started off independent. Some of us are still independent. Even for myself, I have no manager, I have no agent, I'm still independent. And, it'll be interesting to speak about later of now you have a manager and how has that helped, catalyze your career of just able to get that help,
Yeah.
And I think, of what I do, I have producers. So it's slightly different, which my producer's sitting around the front helping me out.
Shout out Steph.
Organize all this stuff. Shout out Steph. But like, yeah, it's different though. You're still kind of holding some weight. And yeah, just getting that help to try and transition and transcend what your work and your voice,
I mean, Dreya, I was going to ask you this anyway, but like, I think it's interesting with the link between you and Dylan where Dylan kind of delved into the NFT thing with his dance and it's like his art, which he got into this space of a new technology, a new type of like app type thing, which makes me think of you, obviously, like, and I don't know whether, I was going to ask you actually whether it's annoying or not that like people associate you with TikTok immediately.
Are you over that?
Yeah, are you like,
Are you over that?
yeah.
It used to actually bother me, like, genuinely. It used to upset me because I spent so much time working on music. Like, I spent so much time transitioning, and like the transition was mad, which wasn't talked about. Only the TikTok is talked about. So I'm like, damn, like the amount of work I put into this song. Why is no one talking about that? I used to get so mad, and I'm like, wait, but like also what came out of it is like a huge following. But then you're bound to have core fans from that. You are bound to, regardless of if your music isn't that like nice to listen to. You're still gonna, if you have a lot of people that it's going to, someone's gonna like it. So I had quite a lot of core fans from that blow up of the song.
Yeah.
And I just learned to be grateful for that rather than like dwelling on the fact that people just associate me with this song or associate me with just TikTok, because prior to that, I know that like what I did was like uncanny. It was just crazy how it happened. And like me releasing one song through the pandemic, like prime time pandemic, it doing well. And
your first song was like
like it did well
attention.
in the UK. You know what I mean? Like in the UK it did well, and then also it got me a colour session, which is just unheard of. Like no one gets those.
That was from the first song.
I only had one song out when they asked me to do colours. So I'm like, that's such a big achievement.
And that's
like,
pre-TikTok.
That's before. Like that's 2021, the very beginning of 2021 as well. So it was like straight after I just like put out my first single. And I don't know, like doing all of that and like the different platforms I was on and like the achievements, I was like, man, this is crazy. And then people just equate me to this song and also aren't, like, because they've heard it on TikTok, aren't listening to my other tunes. Cause it's like,
Square Up is banging, by the way. It's all streaming on all digital platforms.
Appreciate it. But I feel like when you hear a song on TikTok, you associate it with TikTok. And you're like, that's a TikTok song. Cool, that's fine. But like what we used to do when we could be bothered back in the day was hear a good song and then go to their page. But we're so lazy now. I'm saying weird because I'm the same. Like I look at everything as a consumer. So when I'm even trying to market, I'm looking at it as like, what do I want to hear? What do I want to see? You know? So I feel like because of how TikTok is, you can't be mad that people associate you just with that. If they've seen you on TikTok, they're going to think of the person from TikTok, and that's just it. It's up to you then to change that. That's why what I've been doing right now is just artist development. Like after that blow up, I've just been putting together a project, and it's coming out when I want. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not gonna be I need to work off this blow up because I'm not the blow up. Like I do not equate to the blow up, so I'm not gonna just profit off of that blow up just to then make like I can do it again. If I did that on my own, like I can then do it again. So I'm just like, it's mind over matter basically.
And quick question on that actually, just because I've always been curious about this. With something like that, how much, if any, is planned in the sense of when you did the own brand freestyle, right? Were you right in the beginning of that going, this is going to blow up on TikTok, I'm making this to blow up on TikTok, or was it just pure coincidence?
So me and Felix, who was also a dancer before as well.
Sick dancer.
We, great dancer. We was just going back to back in the studio. So we were just literally, drunk off of own brand rum. That's where it comes from. Like, like Sainsbury's rum. Like that's what they call it. And then I was just like, no, this beat is it's gonna blow up on TikTok. I knew it was gonna blow up on TikTok. We didn't release it to blow up on TikTok at all. At the time, I was in a sticky deal, and I couldn't release anything else. So then Felix had to release it as a feature. Right. And that's the only reason it came out as a feature initially. It was always meant to be a joint song, but technically behind the scenes we just wasn't allowed to. So we did that. And I was like, if it blows up, then we can just change it. Yeah. So, because then that's when labels are like, let's jump on it. Like
once they saw the success.
No, they're like, you're not allowed to release it.
So glad you did though.
It's crazy. So I even took a gamble with that. Like they didn't want me to do it, and I was like, just release it. Yeah. Let's just do it. But yeah, in terms of that, we didn't make it for TikTok. I knew. I think when you're so engrossed in the app, I was addicted to the app, literally addicted.
Right. So you already had a knowledge.
I knew what was getting picked up, and I didn't even like get up and make a dance for it. Like
that's what I was gonna ask. Yeah.
It just happened naturally that night. I was just like, literally thinking of a little TikTok dance. Like, what do I see on TikTok? Like this stuff. Like,
I have a question.
I'm thinking, I already know how to dance. Like, I don't need to prove I don't need to do any of that. I was just like, what's gonna apply to everyone? Like, I had like roadmen doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's mad. Yeah, like I think that even though I was trying to learn the dance, but it looked like it was to bit techers. I'm not gonna lie. There was at one point, it was because those TikTok dances are hard, you know. I've been watching some of them, you know, and I'm like, yeah, that's even for dancers a bit
I'm
like.
still not on TikTok. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that was one of my questions. Is like, you know, you said you kind of clock.
I know I'll get addicted.
The way how to run TikTok. What is that? Because I'm sure some of us are on TikTok, some of us are not. I'm not on TikTok.
Oh, yes.
You know,
This is the no TikTok couch.
Well, you know, you try post cross-platform and hoping it hit 1 million views and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm still trying to understand that, and I don't want it for me to, you know, now all of our parents are on Facebook and now we're all on Instagram or now TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy that, like, I should have transitioned, you know, to TikTok. You. So, yeah, like, how does TikTok work? Because I think there is rules and ways of making it. Yeah, I don't know. There's like rules to it.
Notepads.
I personally think it's just so personal. So with me, like, I was just putting up funny videos because like I didn't have any music to drop at the time. I had no songs. I was making them, so I was like, okay, I'm not dropping anytime soon. Let me just show them my personality. So I would pick up the phone and say something I probably would pick up and send to Dylan or send to one of my friends, like, and it was just so natural to me. People liked it, and then they took to my personality. But people clean swimming pools on there, people, and they get millions of views. Like people do the craziest stuff. People like sit and read, and like they're just watching someone read, and they have you could do anything on that app. I think that's what it is. I think people are always trying to look at what other people are doing, and they forget that if you work out how to push what you do, that's all it is. Like if you look at the different trends and hop on the trend at the time and just implement your thing into it. Yeah. It's just all about you. You've got to kind of just know how to market yourself, basically.
You know what I think is interesting as well, though, because I feel like that's really hard to understand until it happens to you, and then you're kind of like, oh yeah, it's just, you know what I mean? But like when it's not working for you, you're probably like, nah, there must be a formula to this.
100%.
But I feel like also it's interesting what you said about choreographing the dance like in a way that you knew people would copy, because I feel like that's something that's really interesting. And I guess for you three, you're all like established like choreographers and dancers in your own right. But I guess, say when you guys have done other jobs, if you're choreographing for TV, that's a little bit different. If you're choreographing for theatre, that's a little bit different. And you have to know the platform in order to choreograph in a way that is going to read, like something that's going to read in the theatre might not read on TV because they might cut, or, you know, or it might be only your face or whatever. So I feel like with TikTok, and again, I don't really know the formula, but I feel like there's a certain thing, even we were talking about it when I was working with Sophia on some like filming stuff, but because it's a portrait format, there's not really any side extensions of the arms. All the dances are here because you can't, it'll go out of the screen, and there's not a lot of traveling, there's not a lot of space, but then there's certain moves that fit perfectly. And then you have to fit on top of that the fact that, I think, you know, Karam, the B-boy?
Yeah.
He was saying that it's important that people need to be able to do it. Because if they can't do it, they don't feel involved, and they're not just going to look at it and go, wow. They need to be able to copy it. So how was there like a real... Because just to preface this, what I don't like is when there's these things that are really popular, like TikTok or even like certain songs, and people... because they're so popular, they almost dismiss them as art. They're like, that's not art. Yeah. That's not hard to do. Anyone can do that. And if you've ever tried to make a viral TikTok dance, to make a song that like goes viral or bangs, it's like it's not easy. And there is an art to making popular things. Yeah. So I think, say with something like that, it's like what went into choreographing this in a way that is as many people as possible is going to like enjoy this. Because you made the song for you, but then when you made the dance, that was for TikTok.
Yeah.
Right?
So like obviously the song, we were just going back and forth. So if you're like drunk or white rum, you're just gonna be chatting rubbish. Do you know what I mean? Like that's just what's gonna happen. So like even the lyrics just were rubbish. Like
over 16 event.
I like obviously have been with a baddie. Like, I had like hella calls just like, I'm not a baddie. Like I'm not a baddie. Like, and I'm just like, yeah, like it's just a song. You know what I mean? But when I went into like choreographing it, like I was literally in like my friend's like, I don't know, kitchen, and she has a mirror, and I was just like, oh, what can I do? Like, you just want to talk. Like I was like, no, I haven't. And then this just reminds me of what like girls do. Like girls do. Like it's like, yeah, like I just try to do any kind of move that relates to what I was saying. So I tried to do the Harlem Shake on the right and left because people know that, you know what I mean? And I don't know. Yeah,
Like
I
tapping into the common knowledge stuff.
Yeah.
like conversational, I'd say. Like you just got to make sure it's conversational, and well, that's if you want people to relate to that.
Yeah.
And like think of it as art. Do you know what I mean? But then if you just want to do a TikTok dance, I'd say all the moves you see, because they're all the same. Like every move you see is just the same. It's all like they renew or they add a move, and then they have that for like 3 months, and then they add another move. And you'll just, if you scroll down like the dance section of TikTok on the Explore or whatever, you'll see the same moves. So just put them in. Like I just try to also implement moves that I've seen before and make it really, I tried to make it not hard, but everyone's saying it's hard, but I just tried to make it as easy as I could.
It did look hard.
Yeah. But yeah, just try to make it as easy as possible. Like the B-boy said, you have to be able to do it. Like think of like your friend's mum attempting to do it, because that's what will go viral.
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I mean? Like, oh my God, mum killed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you want it to apply to them people as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I realise I'm messing up your aesthetic. I'm going to put it.
Oh,
the
no, you're
cup
good,
there.
you're good. Enjoy it.
I can drink from the cup,
It's- yeah, it's functional.
I just realised when I was sitting there.
It's
I was
actually
there's a
like, it
whole
works as a cup as well.
Yeah, one of my questions was, have you found a way to translate your successes in the digital space into a live space? Because
I'm
you know,
literally
some
trying to do
people-
that right now with this podcast.
Yeah, because I think, some people have, killed the live interactions, but the digital space, they find it hard, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So, yeah, has that been a challenge for you guys?
So, I'm very deep into the metaverse and Web3 stuff, but I can confidently say that for my lifetime, I would like to still live in the real world and still experience life in the real world. You laugh now, but let's
No,
see in
I get
100
what you-
years.
I get what you
Have you
mean.
tried VR, guys? Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
scary.
actually-
You're really there. I sold a couple NFTs last year, and I felt that I came up with this concept that I should put on a live dance show. So let me just...
Beautiful segue.
Yes, let me just... let me rent a theater. Let me get the best dancers in the world. Let me give them a 5-minute performance each with collaborating with producers that I work closely with. Let's film each performance, and let's try and sell each performance as digital art. But we also experience a cool dance show. So essentially, it's a format we're familiar with just an extra thing that makes it totally unique in my eyes. And that is happening next month.
Plug it.
So next month, I've decided to hire a theatre in Croydon called Fairfield Halls. It's a pretty good one.
Long history with the UK dance scene.
Yeah, and I've got together like 15 of some of the dopest
It's a fire lineup, I have to say.
dopest dancers in the UK of all different styles, and we're just gonna put on a good night of dance and film all of them and see if they sell. It's very experimental for now, but one thing I've really gotten good at these past few years is just trying things with no fear or expectation. And for me, trying is succeeding. Like if I'm trying and I'm working my hardest and I do my best, and I have good intentions and I'm supporting my community and spreading love around with those around me, I'm not afraid to try anything, because I really don't want to look back in 10 years' time and think, fuck, like I didn't do that because I was scared, like shit, I should have just went for it. Why didn't I just try it? Like, fuck it,
And there's
yeah.
a lot of people who create new ways of doing things or new aspects of stuff, it's like they didn't have role models, they didn't have people who were doing it before them, and it must be scary, but it's like you have to do it for it to exist. You know what I mean? It sounds kind of dumb, but
That's
it's like
the thing.
if you do this and it works, everyone will be like, oh, amazing, of course you did that. But for you now in your position, not knowing the future, it's kind of like, all right, leap of faith. I think this is going to work. I believe in myself. And then, you know, it probably will pay off, but fingers crossed it pays off for you. And then it's like, everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. And, you know, and then it becomes a thing that everyone's always done. You know?
That's, I guess, one of the tough things about what I'm doing is that it's never been done before. So even, for example, the rates that I'm going off of, like I have like a contract, I'm like, videographer gets X percentage, dancer gets X percentage.
Once you sell the performance as NFT.
Yeah, like musician gets X percentage. And I had no like format to go off of because no one else has created it. So, you know, I was just going off of personal experience and conversations and, you know, knowledge that I'm seeking myself. But I feel like I'm someone that is, I don't mind being the first to jump off the cliff. You know, I don't mind. I've done it a couple times before, like in the dance scene with certain steps that I've taken. And I think I'm just very naturally ambitious and driven. And I've always had a mindset of, like, if I see something, anything, like, I've never thought of myself as like, oh, that's not me, or like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like,
you're very whatever the opposite of risk averse is. Like, you seem to not really care about risks.
I do. Trust me, I do. I've learned.
Yeah.
I at first,
but maybe the way you move isn't.
Yeah, like at first, like I've had a lot of business ventures in the past where I was like, it's for the passion, like this is for the love. Like, yes, passion always. And I quickly realized that it's just not sustainable. Like, if I want to continue doing things, I have to also be smart in the business sense, and for it to be sustainable. I definitely want to create sustainable business models with everything I do, but also have a very strong sense of passion, community, and love for it. So finding that balance is tough, but not impossible. And I'm definitely want to do that.
I think something that I find interesting about your show and the idea of like selling the performances as NFTs is like one thing that has, I don't want to say like held dance back, but probably could say that. But like compared to all the other art forms, right? It's like when you create a painting, you can sell it on, put in an exhibition, do like you paint it once and then it's done. To make money off dance, you have to keep performing night after night. Like there's some people that are doing, like we were talking about West End stuff, where it's like you're doing 7 shows a week, and it's like that's, even if you get kind of fairly compensated, it's still a lot of work. So it's like the only thing that like dance and live, even music, like you can record it and it's on Spotify or CD or whatever for us to keep playing over and over once we've bought it. But I feel like with dance, the hard thing is like you perform it once, the people in the room see it, great, it's finished. Now, if I want to ever enjoy that again, like,
do it again.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you have to do it again. And I think with what you're doing, it's like, also for anyone that's not a dancer in the room or hasn't worked in our kind of spaces, when you do, and correct me, you guys have a lot more experience than me on this, so correct me if I'm wrong, but when you do dance work in the commercial realm, a lot of what you get paid is based on the usage, right? So if something's going to be used over a course of a year and it's only going to be in England, you get paid a certain amount. If it's worldwide for 5 years,
Depends what job as well, you know.
Right.
You know, because there's a standard rates.
Right.
As well, as you know. So it depends, like even if it's some young kid that just blown who's 17, it's this rate. If Rihanna or someone else comes from overseas, it's the same rate.
Yeah, so it's like standard rates
really,
depending on the so
commercial.
I think with Dylan, what's interesting is like, so if I do a theatre show and I get paid to perform once, or I get paid to perform 7 times in a week or whatever, that's a certain fee based on who's going to see it, how many seats there are in the theatre, etc., etc. But with yours, you can potentially start a model. I'm not saying it's going to happen magically for this one show, but you could start a model where we can perform once and get almost an endless stream of pay, or we can have an endless scalability in the same way that a rapper or whatever is like, you record the song once, if that blows, you're raking in money just sitting at home. Same with the dance NFTs, where it's like before, if your video goes viral and it gets shared around, you're not necessarily making any money.
Can I? Oh, sorry. Go
Yeah.
on.
No, and I just think it's a very exciting concept, and I think actually it's a kind of linked between the TikTok model in a way, where it's like they're starting to monetize the virality, if that's a word, of a dance. So the more views you're getting, you're now starting to get paid and like the creator funding or whatever it's called. And like this is kind of something that you're maybe doing through NFTs and through a live space, which you can kind of maybe talk more on that, but it's really interesting.
I just want to share something with you guys. So I sold a dance NFT for $3,000. This was one of them I sold for $3,000, which is incredible, right? Now, that NFT now went into the buyer's crypto wallet. They now own that NFT and they can do whatever they want with it. They can sell it. Again, they own it. And they resold that NFT for $10,000. Now, who the hell is paying $10,000 for a dance video?
Do you know who it was?
Not personally, but
Okay.
I saw online and stuff.
Also,
incredible.
do you get a percentage?
Yes. So, yeah. Now, here's the thing with NFTs. There is this technology called smart contracts, which I won't go too deep into, but in the NFT, you can basically embed like a percentage of royalties. So in this NFT, when I created it, I said, this is how much it's gonna cost, like if you wanna buy it. And in the platform that I use, the creators automatically get 15% of every resale. So that video that sold for $10,000, I checked my crypto wallet and I saw $1,500 there. That's 15%, right? Yeah. So, like, I received royalty from a dance video that I made with my art authentically. I didn't have to change anything about myself. I put it out there and someone saw the value of that. I personally think I'm worth millions, but we'll get there one day.
He's like 10,000.
10,000. Bargain. But what I'm thinking here, like, this is incredible, and I predict that give us 10 to 20 years, and I believe the following business model will exist in the future. Right now, artists can put up online print shops, and they can print their art and they can sell to friends and family. And like, people would buy like £15 for like a nice print for their house. That's not bad. You would support your friend, right? Like if your friend was like a really, really dope artist and they were creating something like that spoke to you, you would buy that for £15-20 to support them. Yeah? That's not crazy, right?
Yeah.
No.
That's not.
No. He's behind you. Yeah.
That's not a crazy thing to say. Now, I imagine that in the future, dancers will be able to make multi-edition dance NFTs. So say I film a dance video and I put 50 editions of them online as NFTs. But then you ask the question, well, even if one of them is £10, £15, why would I buy it? What could I do with this?
I think that's
NFT?
the question that a lot of people have.
And I I know that in 10 to 20 years time, within this time frame, could be less than 10 years, we are going to, like, it's already happening, but on a very small scale right now. Basically, many people have social media platforms right now, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, etc. But in the future, what's going to be popular is digital property and virtual houses. So you could have, it's free to have an Instagram account, and in the future, it's going to be free to have your own virtual apartment where you can pimp it out how you want. Now, you're probably sat there thinking, that's stupid. I will not spend time pimping out my virtual apartment with NFTs. But
Meanwhile, we're editing captions on Insta.
But
like,
try tell people 20 years ago about what we're doing to social media today.
Yeah.
They would be like, no way would I spend that much time on, what did you say, a mobile phone? Like, do you know what I mean?
and
So-
like it's the same as like MySpace, Facebook, Insta. It's like you create your digital space that like represents
Yeah.
you online, and
you have to remember, it's not our generation that's going to be doing this. It's the generation that aren't even born yet that are going to be raised on blockchain technology. Like the internet was, we understood the internet by the time we were teenagers,
Yeah.
So I do believe that this will be a business model for dancers in the future. And why that's amazing is because this is a new way to monetize our art and create, passive income for our art. hopefully we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know, it could maybe not work. Maybe next year I'm like, you know what, I don't really want to do NFTs anymore. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I get asked all that question all the time. Is like, Ivan, when you drop in NFTs, I'm like, still need to understand
Yeah.
the things. But question to Dreya, I'll be interested to know if you'd be interested as now going into music, creating NFTs. But it's also going back to that transition into that live space, because you've kind of killed the social media game, and I know you've kind of was on stage with SZA for Wireless, and she invited you on, and how have you found that transfer from this massive digital moment to now
especially
jumping
starting
on
out in
stage?
the pandemic where there was nothing live, and now everyone's like, there's millions of people that love you, come on stage.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think I didn't really deep or take in that I kind of came out during a time where live was just dead. But I've always felt like a performer. So when I've been dancing, I always used to do shows. I've even done one of yours. And like I would enjoy it, and I would like feel like I'm shining and all eyes are on me. And I kind of felt like that from when I was younger, So
You're even a very much a performer when you battle, I find.
yeah, like even when I battle, I feel like I'm performing. Like I feel like even when I'm, Dreya Mac online, I feel like I'm performing, So I feel like it came natural to me. What happened was I got myself a really good booking agent, and then a really good tour manager. And from literally when I had like one or two songs, they just had me
How
on
did
live
you
gigs.
find them?
I found them through, again, just people like,
Okay.
honestly, with music, it's just down to people like someone will know someone. So you go and ask the first person that comes to mind that's in the music scene, oh my God, do you have a booking agent that you can refer me to? They call their guy, and if the guy's interested in working with you, they will. And the guy that I've been with, Sam Gill, he's a part of Earth Agency, he has had my back since I had 2 tracks. So it's like,
That's sick.
if you have, even with dance agents, like, I won't get into that, but I won't get into that, but like, the people that, the people that have their agent and their agent has them, like the favorites, I like to say, the favorites are gonna get them jobs every week, like. They're gonna have they're gonna have a new job like every other day, and I think that's just what I did. Like, and it's been recurring ever since. I did my first headline show. I think it was the day before my birthday. So I also that was just a marketing technique of mine. I was like, come celebrate my birthday with me. I kind of I was like, then everyone's gonna come now. And then it hit 12 and I did a birthday thing, so I was also spending time with my fans, and I feel like my market right now is like that kind of Missy Elliott performing, dancing kind of style, because you don't have female rappers really going in, rappers in general really going in and dancing anymore. I feel like Busta Rhymes used to dance, people used to dance, and then it just kind of stopped after a while. I feel like more singers
like
to dance
Kehlani
now.
and people like that, yeah.
They like to put on a whole show, whereas I have a market now. I'm like, oh my God, I have that lane that I could actually go into and people will like it. And people come to the show expecting baddie And that's it for 30 minutes. Even though they know.
Do it again.
They literally like, I can hear it. Like, obviously, it depends how big it is, but you can hear them screaming like the lyrics before you've even started, or like you're on the first song and you just hear them. But then quickly they realize, oh, Dreya's putting on a whole show. Like, it doesn't matter what I want. I put Baddie at the end on purpose. Like, I'm like, you're gonna sit.
And I bet it bangs at the end.
Yeah. Even sometimes I'm like, all right, see ya. Like, before I play Baddie, I'm like, all right, bye, I'm going. And they're like, what?
Wait a minute.
This is what we asked for. No, I'm joking. But yeah, like, they realize that I put on a whole show and that I've choreographed the whole thing.
I was going to ask you about that,
and then, like, you have the transitions and you have the different, like, they see the whole show and they're bouncing and screaming even though they don't know the lyrics, you know? And then they go from that show home and download the songs. Like, most of my fans have come from my shows and it's been, like, really, really nice to see and organic because I'm, like, gaining fans. Like, they're like, you were just incredible. I didn't know any of them. Mad, like, now I do. Like, you know what I mean? And it feels better. Like, that's why I don't really dwell on the downside of things,
So with all the, because obviously you worked already as a dancer before you ever did music. So you understand dance, you understand choreography, you understand like some level of creative direction already just as a dancer and as a creative. So I know that I know for sure there's some stuff that you've choreographed. I don't know, you've probably choreographed a large part of what you've done. Are you getting any like pushback now you're starting to get bigger stuff like from the whoever it might be saying, oh, let us hire you this choreographer, and you're like, no, we're getting that person, we're getting these dancers because I know, you know what I mean? Are they trying to fight you on anything, or are they kind of saying run it?
I feel like, first of all, just in the UK, they just don't really care about that.
Okay.
They just don't care. Like, that's why like their idea of a star is quite to the book. They don't.
Okay.
They really don't care about, like, it's sad though.
What, don't care about pushing back on you, or
dance? Like,
just putting it in the show.
They're not,
right.
They're not suggesting anything. They're not doing anything. I think if I didn't dance, they wouldn't suggest it as well. Like, that's how much of I'm like, we need this and we need a dance break here, and they're like, okay.
They're just going with it.
That should do the job. And then like when we did the Baddie video, I made sure to get my friend Ysabelle down. And
can you talk her up a bit more? Because she's more than just your friend Ysabelle.
She's a famous choreographer, dancer. She is one of the best. I would say she's one of the best dancers like I know, like ever.
Yeah, Usher, everyone.
She's danced with Chris Brown, Usher. She's choreographed for a lot of tours that she doesn't talk about. Like a lot of people that are dancing right now on tour, like most of their set is by her, and it's just like she's just awfully humble, like awfully, like she doesn't people like. But
and just say her age real quick.
She's like 23, 24. I think she's only 2 years older than me.
Fire.
Yeah, it's just kind of crazy, isn't it? But I made sure to get her down because I was like, firstly, we've left it a while since the song's done its thing. And then when we did eventually sign the deal for Baddie, all the work had been done. So I just wanted a music video. I was like, I just want my own music video for like my page, because Felix had the original music video on his page. And I was like, I want one that displays my kind of artistry, because the other one was quite dark and it was like more down his route creatively. And I wanted something more flashy, dancey, like, and yeah, I wanted the breakdown, and I knew the breakdown was gonna initiate another viral moment, which happened on Twitter instead of a bit on TikTok, but it went actually viral on Twitter. And I think it's because you don't really get 1 million views on Twitter. That's like viral, because Twitter's quite, I don't know.
That's
Twitter's
interesting, because I think when I think of Twitter, I just think of just like words.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh no, Twitter's nice.
I've only just got into
like
Twitter recently, and I think it was that viral moment that made me be
What
like,
was it that was the thing that went viral?
Just the section that Ysabelle choreographed in a room from the
video.
Music video. Someone cut and was like, I didn't know Dreya Mac could dance like that. Like,
I think I even saw that on Twitter.
You know, and then I was like, yeah, well, now you have it. Like, and then we kind of like profited off of that. But yeah, in general, like dancing and like implementing my choreography, the only time I've got someone else was that time.
And
so.
she worked with the TikTok dance, right?
Yeah, she reworked
It actually
that as well.
worked fine. Like, I mean, that's obviously a credit to her as a choreographer. But
Exactly.
I remember watching the video, and because I don't know how much she reworked it, and I was like, this actually looks sick as music video choreography as well as like being a TikTok dancer. I was like, that's also not easy to do. Is like
Exactly.
one thing is to choreograph for a music video, one thing is to choreograph for TikTok, but to take a TikTok dance and make it bang in a music video is like
I kind of told her like we need the same kind of moves, the same kind of direction, and she just knew what to do. But I also knew I really wanted to focus on the direction of it because I've been diving into direction a lot more as well. So I'll be with the director, whoever I use. Like sometimes it's suggested, sometimes I just use people I know. But then if I like with the treatment, if I'm there from the start, I'm gonna direct it as well. Like I don't really want to leave it to someone, and it's because I have ideas and I like different. I knew about the dance break and I was like, that's gonna go viral.
Who else is gonna do it?
So,
yeah.
Why not? You know.
Actually, that's interesting. I was going to say, is there someone, either I mean, maybe Ysabelle, but like, is there someone, either a choreographer or a director, that you would get to work with and be like, you know what, do you?
Leave them to do whatever. No.
That's dope though.
Nah. I wouldn't do it.
Even if you're not choreographing, you could still creatively direct, because
100%.
at the end of the day, it's your name there, and like it's
what I
your
want.
vision.
If it's a vision of mine, that's another thing. Many artists don't like.
Oh, I know.
It's the norm.
They're not.
It's
Yeah,
the
that's
norm.
what I wanted to ask, because
Yeah.
like how much of, you know, beforehand it was you got your guidance from your sister and stuff like that, and yeah, how much do you still have that, you know, control of your voice?
So obviously getting management, that was purely, people say get a manager when it's too much to handle. So as soon as stuff started coming in too much, we were like, okay, we need that to be taken over. And I've had quite a few managers now. You have to just find your person, and I'm not
like a
really
therapist, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not really ashamed to say that, you know. I'm seeing this person every day. Like if if we don't click, if we don't click, it's got to, you know. But like obviously don't get in the habit of just like as soon as you see one thing, like no, I've had to like go through years with someone, or like 6 months with someone, and you put on trials. But regardless, having them on has helped so much, because I just wouldn't be able to juggle it, honestly. Like I wouldn't. I get too many emails a day to like even keep up. Sometimes I don't know where I'm going. Sometimes, and it's that much. Like the work rate just keeps doubling. So that kind of helps. But with how involved I am, I'm actually too involved. If someone from the music scene was to tell you how involved I am, I'm too involved. I used to be over the management email. I used to see what comes in and comes out, and like I used to be very particular. But then I was like, wait, Dreya, just your head, you know, like chill out, take some time to yourself. I came off the management email. That also breeds a lot more trust in your manager, because you're like, I trust you to just do your thing, and if all else fails, then it just fails. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm always going to be involved. I think I'm not going to be involved. I was shocked at the amount of people that don't write their stuff.
I knew.
I was shocked. I don't think I was surprised. I was just a bit shocked at the amount. Like majority don't write. Majority don't know what they're going to do on their music video. They'll just show off me. Like, so where am I at now? I don't like this. You didn't even look at the treatment 3 weeks ago. Like, of course you don't like it. You know what I mean? So I think I've always been the opposite, and I'm always going to be the opposite. I'm always going to be involved.
Yeah. I think maybe we do some time for audience questions.
Yeah.
If there's anything that you guys are interested in asking anyone, or general, it doesn't have to be like a specific person. You could also just ask for our thoughts on something if you want. But we have the lovely Steph down here with a microphone that she just pulled out of a top hat. So is there anyone that has anything that they'd like to throw in the ring? Right next to you, Steph. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the mics they're sorting it, but until then.
No worries. So I was interested.
Oh, there we go.
Regarding
Yay.
the NFTs. So I'm deeply into that whole space as well. I just wondered how you built up your community, and which which marketplace you use as well to sell the dance NFT, the initial one that has now gone on to sell again.
Yes. Okay.
Do you want me to take this one?
So when I entered the NFT space, I checked the data on this, and I was amongst there were 14,000 of us active NFT traders when I joined. So I made a new Twitter, and it was just for NFT stuff. And basically, I got into NFT Twitter at the time, and basically, we all followed like a couple hundred people, and it felt like the whole NFT space was there on your timeline. So it was very, very, very close at the beginning, and it was extremely easy to network because, bearing in mind, when I joined, the only massive thing that happened, which, okay, it is insanely massive, but basically, Beeple, like his art sold for, I can't remember, maybe like 60 million last year, 68.
Do you want to give a quick rundown for people that don't know who that is?
Oh, Beeple is like, he's an NFT artist, and he's, one of the biggest ones. He basically has a collection called Everydays where he did art for every day for years, and he sold it as a collection last year, and it sold for 60-something million. It gained a lot of eyes on the NFT space because it was the first like massive sale. And then in January, we kind of saw a boom in the NFT art space because of that. And I just happened to like magically kind of come in at that time. So it was very easy to, that's what I was saying. At the beginning, because not a lot of massive sales had happened, it felt very much like a group of nerds who were very passionate about this new technology and passionate about the possibilities that the technology presents. And it was very much like, I could really feel the authentic enthusiasm, and I could feel the honest good vibes at the beginning. So it was very easy to network, very easy to kind of like meet people and stuff like that. And I started posting dance videos, just regular dance videos, to the regular NFT space, and they really liked it because these are all people from the tech and finance industry. So they were like, whoa, this is really cool, like I'm meeting a dancer and we have a common interest, this is cool, blah blah blah. And then I kind of just started like networking like that. And this is quite funny, but I actually worked for an NFT gaming company for like maybe a little over 6 months as like kind of customer service, because in the pandemic there was no dance work, and I did online dance tutorials, but that didn't go so well. But so I was networking and stuff, and through Twitter, and I use a platform called Foundation, and right now Foundation is open, but at the time, you can only sell NFTs on Foundation if you had an invite from another artist on the platform that has also sold an NFT. So again, it was very exclusive at the time, and Foundation really supported me from the beginning, and they put my work on the homepage, and they helped me that. But right now, oh my God, for context, guys, I'm gonna be honest. Last year I sold 10 dance NFTs. This year I've sold none. I haven't sold any dance NFTs. So it's still very experimental. The crypto and NFT market right now is kind of in like as they call it, like a crypto winter. It's kind of like very slow right now. But I'm very passionate about the technology. And I do have hopes for the future. It's just right now, it's still very experimental. Yeah.
Lovely. What an answer. Any other question? Oh, yes. Hello.
Just continuing with the NFT stuff, you mentioned that you could just put up like just a digital file. Would it be possible to like put up like a sound library or like to sell that as an NFT?
A sound library?
Just like a collection of sounds.
Yes.
So maybe if you don't mind me adjusting, but like what else, like sound library, but also, like, what else can you do? Because you've spoken about the videos,
Yeah.
but maybe there's loads of other stuff that we don't know. What can be an NFT basically?
Yeah, so I guess anything that you can put digitally, anything that you can put on the internet digitally can be made into an NFT. It just depends on if the platform that you're using has that feature enabled. So for example, there are some NFT platforms that may only enable photos and videos to be minted. Minted is the process of putting it on the blockchain. But there are music NFTs, they're definitely blowing up right now. Actually, I messaged you like months ago. Yeah,
I heard of Nas. He sold his royalties or something.
Yeah. So he sold a share of one of his songs so that collectors could own
Which
a
is
share.
crazy.
Yeah, so you can definitely put up a sound library. You would just have to own the rights to everything you're minting. But yeah, like this is the thing.
Sorry, can I just ask you about that? When you say own the rights to everything you're minting, so if you think of a song like with all the different sounds and everything that's there, it's like painters don't own the right to colors or like even the paint. So at which level do we have to own everything?
So for example, for anyone who produces here, there's a platform called Splice where you can download sounds.
This was me in the pandemic.
You can download like sounds like kick drums, like snares, hi-hats, everything. And this platform, anything on this platform, if you download it, you can do a song and you can you can own that, like you sell that song, you can monetize that song. So wait, maybe this is a bad example to give because I don't think you can download something from Splice and then sell it as an NFT. Wait, maybe you can. Wait, this is not, maybe, but yeah.
Use Splice, but maybe I guess you have to like own publishing as well for it to go up.
Yeah, if there are original sounds that you own the rights to, for sure. And this is what I wanted to get into. So something like Splice, like if I was a sound engineer, a sound designer, and Splice is similar to Spotify and Apple Music, where like as an artist, you can choose, you can't really like sell CDs anymore. Like you kind of have to play the game of Apple Music and Spotify. But what if we kind of took a step back and now artists are able to sell their sound libraries or their songs directly to their fans, and their fans could own maybe an exclusive version of it and they could resell it if they wanted to, and the artists could then own royalties on the resells. You know, it opens up another door. And something I do really appreciate and like about NFTs and Web3 is that it opens up doors for ownership for the artist, ownership of their art, ownership of their monetary gains, and it's very interesting. But yes, you can.
Hello.
Another NFT question. I was just wondering, first of all, congratulations, that is a some achievement, and for like really taking a risk, for all of you. But to take a risk into something new, that is something really brave, and congratulations, it's paying off. I was just wondering if you thought about utility for your NFTs, and if you have, do you mind sharing your ideas and such?
And also what that means.
Yeah.
For me.
So utility is kind of like, if I sold this dance NFT, a utility that I could add to it is you can take 5 of my next dance classes for free, for example. Now, in the NFT space, the word utility is used a lot, and I have thought really long and hard about utility for my dance NFTs, but I haven't found one that I'm like, oh, yes, that's genius, you know? I don't want to do a utility for the sake of doing a utility, but I have an idea that I don't mind sharing because like people have thought of this. But like, for example, let's say that I have a motion capture suit and I record my movement on this motion capture suit. I attach my movement on a 3D model and I sell this 3D model, this video of this 3D model doing my movement and maybe it's like a cool 3D model. Maybe it's like, I don't know, something cool. It looks cool. And you own this art of this 3D image dancing. And the utility is, if you buy this, what also comes with this is the data of my motion capture suit, and games, videographers, companies can maybe buy this video and they can own my movement data. This is already being built, a movement data marketplace.
Am I being really stupid by saying, is it kind of like a Fortnite scheme?
Yeah, that's right. As soon as that came into
like
my head.
So you can buy different, like, so it could be Dylan doing the same dance, or it could be Ivan doing it, and then you could put that dance in Fortnite, you could put it in...
Yes, but this is the difference. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe Dreya, you know this, but with
Speaking
the
about
Fortnite,
having a dance in Fortnite,
they did a dance with your Fortnite thing, but that wasn't captured with a motion capture suit, right?
No, it was me.
Huh? Like they copied
It's
that.
me, yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's why it's so personal with this with this idea is that like the movement that I'm doing, it's literally a human doing it. But with Dreya, they did it on Unreal Engine. Like
they did is they copied the video of me, so it wouldn't be the exact like you're saying is
like they animated it via a software, whereas this version is like
in the MCU when they have the Hulk with the green dots.
Yeah, that's why it makes it quite like personal and interesting, because with a software you can make them do a backflip, and no human has to do a backflip, you know. But with this, I think it's a cool idea.
I've been informed via my earpiece that doesn't exist that this is our last question. So you're going to need to fight to see who gets to ask it. No, I'm joking.
Well, two quick ones?
Yeah.
I see two hands, so that's why.
Two quick ones, let's do it.
Can we do two quick ones? You're the boss.
Yeah.
This isn't about NFTs, sorry guys.
Okay.
This one's for Dreya. You spoke a little bit about like not really caring about kind of hopping onto trends, just kind of doing your own thing. And I feel like, you know, in this world of like NFTs and the trends and always hopping onto the next viral thing, this fast-paced kind of world, like what's your version of a legacy? Like, what do you personally want to leave behind that's apart from, you know, what the trends say and what you feel like you should be doing? Like, what's the legacy to you, basically?
I feel like I'm already doing it, but a legacy to me is just being solely myself and getting money from that. Like getting paid to be yourself. Like that's like, I feel like even tying in with dance, I spent years doing stuff I did not want to do. Like I was dancing in heels. Like, look at these Air Forces. I was dancing in heels. I had to wear makeup for auditions. Like they didn't let you audition for like the guys role or the girls role until I did Vossi Bop, and then after they were doing like gender inclusive auditions and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, like you're doing it now. But like, regardless, like no one really should ever have to go through that just to like get some bread. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like refusing to do like a 9 to 5 because no, like I'm that person. Like I'll eat noodles for like every day of the week until I do my dream job, which is just becoming a professional dancer. But you shouldn't have to like alter who you are for it. So I even think through NFTs, you can be solely yourself and then sell something, or do like exactly what you want to do and sell that. Like, I think it's all good. Like, but I think I'm leaving that legacy already because you don't really see a lot of queer black women, like mask presenting black women as well. Like, you don't really see a lot of us like at the top, like, you know, like in the limelight. Like there's obviously levels to it, but like in the limelight, you see quite a generic, I don't know, social norm or like how people present themselves, like social standard. Yeah, you see that and that's it. But like obviously now we're starting to become more inclusive, but like solely getting paid for like being yourself, like that's what I want to do, and solely putting out the art that I want to do. That's the legacy I definitely want to leave, and I think I'm starting to do that. So thank you, and I appreciate it.
Last one was here, I think. No? Sure? Okay. Do we want to...
Like, I want to go home now.
Take one last one? Yeah.
Nah, stay for the film screenings, trust me.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll wrap there. Thank you guys, everyone, for being here, and thank you guests for being here. Thank you, Ivan, for having me and putting on this platform. I really admire I've looked up to Ivan for context. Like Ivan was like a big deal in the scene when I first started dancing. So I've looked up to Ivan since I was like really young, and I think like through cross-platform, and actually it's funny, like the stuff that, I mean, maybe it's why you spoke to me about doing this, but through the stuff that I'm interested in now is what I think cross-platform is kind of all about. And I think having you guys here, like I admire you guys for the same thing that I admired Ivan for, and for the same thing that I want to like see in myself, if you know what I mean. This like entrepreneurial thing, like I love like what you were just saying about legacy and like being yourself and not having changed. Like that's what I'm trying to do now. Yeah. And like with Dylan, with like, I feel like with your like enthusiasm and just like, all right, I'm gonna try this. Like these are all the things I see with all of you guys that I want to do. And I think a lot of people now, you know, we always talk about kind of this era seems to be the era of like the multidisciplinary artist. Like even if it's just social media, everyone's doing their art plus something. They're their own marketing manager, that they're doing multiple things. And I think it's a really important thing to tell people, and I think that's great why we're doing this, but and for cross-platform as a platform to kind of show people, it's like, there's a saying that I love where it's like the artist isn't defined by their medium. So it's like, you're not a musician, you're not a dancer, you're an artist, and you choose where to put your creative thing. It can be today music, tomorrow NFTs. Like I'm sure, I'm a photographer, I'm sure if I taught Dreya like the settings on my camera, you'd be able to do a fire photo shoot tomorrow, because it's not about, that's just the medium. Once you learn the medium, your artistic voice can shine through wherever you go. And I feel like this is kind of the thing of cross-platform, where it's like you take your creativity in one thing and you apply it to another thing. And all you need to be able to do, I think, is just you need to be able to learn. Yeah. As long as you can learn, you can be an artist in any space. So yeah, anyway, I'm just like super grateful to kind of be around people like you guys and to be here. So thank you, Ivan, and thank you guys for doing this.
Thank you, Ivan.
Yeah, no, man, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for coming, guys.
Yeah, man.
And we're moving on to the film screening.
Yeah, so we're going to have a little break. Please try the Crosstail. It's a cocktail that I created. You might have seen me sipping it through that mug.
Multidisciplinary artist.
But yeah, we'll be back with some amazing films, which I curated, from music videos to short films and Afro-surrealism. And, you know, I think just to wrap up, most of the people who I program and book, I'm really inspired by them. I'm literally fans. I might not like, you know, fangirl over people, but like, especially with these two, I've seen, you know, Dre and Dylan for years. And Luke, I've known Luke for years. And I remember just going to dance studios and seeing them as kids and seeing how you guys have transitioned. I remember seeing Dreya through, there's a dance studio called Studio 68, and she used to look at me through the window. And I think, you know, we used to kind of look at each other, and I used to think like, well, why is she looking at me? You know? And then I used to be like, and I think it was the same thing, I was like, why is Ivan looking at her? But I used to, Dreya's name was like around so much, like, yeah, have you seen Dreya dance? And I was like, who's Dreya? I know all the dancers. Until I saw her move, and I was like, yo, Dreya, you're just on a next level. Like, what you're doing is, it transcends what everything's out there right now. I think you're it.
That, man.
You know, trust me, I really believe you're it, and I think that this is just the beginning. And same for Dylan. You know, like, there's a company called Zoo Nation. That's a really big company, and you know, Dylan was kind of a part of that kind of the youth company. And just seeing this, like, well, I don't know, you wasn't 4 years old, but for me at the time, I was like, this 4-year-old flipping, doing these crazy mad flips. And then I saw him, I'm going to bait you up, on Britain's Got Talent with a crew. No. And they kind of got far, and you know, but it was just like, how old is he? What, like 16 or something like that? Doing the craziness. And like, even for us, I think, you know, as the older generation was like, what are these kids on, man? You know, because even now, like, you know, I'm still now just like trying to keep up. But I think, you know, cross-platform is a platform even for myself to be like always be inspired and learn. You know, I failed all my GCSEs. I have no degrees. I have nothing. You know, but I've got very talented friends. You know? But yeah.
When my mum cusses out my GCSEs, what do you have? I have talented friends.
I've
Mum.
FXs and
Play
all of that
this.
stuff. It's crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, please come back, grab a drink. The Crosstail, trust me, is banging.
Please come back
And
drunk.
in 10, 15 minutes, boom.
Thank
Love you lot. See you
guys.
soon.
Thank you guys.
Hello.